Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Chris Loves Comics. Before I even get started, I just want to say thank you so much for the outpouring of well wishes and goodwill towards my wife. She's a little bit of an update. So I guess she's going to Dana-Farber, which is considered one of the best cancer hospitals in North America. Her aggressive form of cancer, I guess, has been downgraded to just, regular breast cancer, which still doesn't make any of us feel any better, but I guess it's a small win knowing that, it hasn't spread, and from what everyone's saying and from the doctors, it sounds like, everything's going to be fine, but she may not have to go through chemo, which is the big thing, and I'm hoping she doesn't. She will have to get surgery, but she's just such a warrior, and when I say thank you so much for the outpouring, this is coming from both of us. I showed her all the messages that you guys were kindly enough to leave, and it really touched her. But she's getting good help, and I have full confidence in the doctors. But I just want, as also saying thank you. I always do this, but I'm gonna put my friends in the description down below. My YouTube channels that I follow, they're really good friends of mine, and if you're sub to the channel, I highly recommend you watching their channels. They're such great people, and I think you'll like what they have to say. But with that out of the way, I'm going to be going over Mark Waid's run of the Fantastic Four. I got the trade version. I got them at a very good price at my store, Rubber Chicken Comics in Bellingham, Massachusetts. When I say this is my favorite run, I think this story sort of encapsulates what the Fantastic Four are. Now, if you're new to the Fantastic Four are a group, well, it's a group/family. The leader of the group is Mr. Fantastic, who is Reed Richards. He is a scientist and considered the smartest being in the Marvel Universe. And he's married to Susan Richards, formerly Susan Storm. And she is also a brilliant scientist in her own right. And she is the Invisible Woman. And she has incredible invisibility powers where not only to make herself and others invisible, she can make force fields, and she can also make, and you find out the true depths of her power when she can put an invisible force field around your lungs to prevent you from breathing. She's definitely a scary being, but she's a good person. And her brother, Johnny Storm, and he is known as the Human Torch, who has flight, and he has pyrokinesis. He can control flame around him. And I forgot to mention Mr. Fantastic's power. He has the ability to expand his molecules to any potential, which means he can stretch his own physical being into any shape that he wishes, either big, small, what have you. And then to round out the group, you have Ben Grimm, who is the friend of Reed Richards. Not the brightest bulb in the tree, but he's a very noble and a very caring person. He's a big burly guy, and he is the rock-skinned being who has super strength and nigh invulnerability. And what I love about the Fantastic Four is the dynamic between the family, where in this series, Johnny Storm just goes ballistic on Ben, and by going ballistic, he just pulls pranks on Ben non-stop. There's one prank where so Ben is from a part of New York. He's from Brooklyn, but he's was raised on Yancey Street. And Yancey Street, there was a gang which he grew up with, but Johnny gave Ben a sort of piegram when he opened the box. There's a pie that comes out, and he hits Ben in the face, and it says "from the Yancey Street Gang," but Ben is trying to find the Yancey Street Gang, and then Johnny's egging him on, saying, "Wait till we find those guys." And it's just really, there's a lot of humor in this book, but there's also Dr. Doom, who is the main villain of Fantastic Four. To me, he goes beyond reproach, where he's always tried to instill in the world that he's the smartest between himself and Reed Richards. But Dr. Doom goes a step further, and he captures Franklin Richards, which is the Sue and Reed's son, and puts him in hell. And Dr. Doom also possesses the mind of Valerie, named after Dr. Doom's wife Valeria. And he hits the Fantastic Four where they really hurt, which is their family. And you see a side of Reed Richards where he's sort of a very stoic, very scientific, very straight and narrow guy, but he loses his mind. He's filled with rage, and when they do eventually defeat Dr. Doom, Dr. Doom still leaves his presence even more by scarring Reed Richards' side of his face, so he will know how Dr. Doom feels. It's the whole book, throughout the entire series, it just grabs you, and it just takes you to the end. And even towards the end, Johnny Storm eventually becomes a herald of Galactus. It just takes the preconcepts of the Fantastic Four and just turns it on itself. It's such a fantastic read. Mark Waid is quickly becoming one of my favorite writers. One of my favorite all-time books is Kingdom Come, which is a 4-part miniseries. It's by Mark Waid and drawn by Alex Ross, which you may know. He's one of, if not considered the best artists in the world. And also, one of my favorite Daredevil runs is by Mark Waid. Another good story that I haven't read yet, but I will, because I've read Jeff Johns' run, is The Flash's run. I will be picking up those 2 omnis as well. But I just wanted to quickly go over my recommendation for The Fantastic Four by Mark Waid. It's such a fantastic read. The omnibus, I think, is coming out like in a month or so, but if you can't hold off for that, they do have the trade paperbacks out. They're a little bit more pricier because they were hard to find, but they were just in my store, and I just picked them up on a whim, and I'm so glad I did. But that's it for this week. I hope you guys have had a fantastic week. Enjoy your weekend. It's Memorial Day. It's a good time to reflect on those we've lost, and a good time to realize what we still have. And if there's one thing this whole ordeal has taught me with my wife is, hold the ones that are close to you, hold them even closer, because you never know what'll happen in this world, and it's just important to tell the ones that you love how much they mean to you. But I'm gonna put my friends in the description down below, as mentioned. Have a great weekend. I love you guys so very much, and take care. All right, have a good weekend, everyone. Bye now.